Hey there, I'm Ian,
And I'm Mike.
and this is Grizzly Talks.
Welcome back to the Grizzly Bar. Today, we are going to make a very special old fashioned. I know we've made one before already, but we're going to make a special one. It's called the Mama Bear. Now, some old fashions, you can have them on the rocks, you can have them as is, just pour yourself a glass and call it a night, or a day if you are into that. This is a warm old fashioned. They're unique in themselves, and in this one, I've taken the liberty of cutting up some oranges. So, with the oranges, it gives us a little citrus flavor, but also with a sweeter flavor. The bourbon we're going to be using tonight is BSB's Brown Sugar. Now, the BSB Brown Sugar bourbon is already semi-sweet. You can use some brown sugar or a sugar cube just to give it an extra sweetness. That's up to you. Like I said, this is just a simple old-fashioned, nothing fancy. We don't need any syrups. We don't need any garnishes, cherries. It's just, this is it. Throw this on the stove for about 5 minutes on high. It gets up there. You don't want to boil it because then you're getting rid of the alcohol. But just for enjoyment, let it steep for a second with the oranges and enjoy your night. So we're gonna do just that. And just to top it off, we're gonna smoke ours. Do a little bit there. We're gonna throw a little brown in there. Don't need to go too crazy on it. We're gonna get one of our steeped oranges. These oranges on the side are just for looks. Get that in there. You can buy this smoker on Amazon. Let this sit for about 30 seconds or longer if you're into that. Alrighty, so after giving it some time for the smoke to cure, it's kind of classy. It gives a little art to it. You want to enjoy your evening drink or day drink. To further ado, get a little bit of those flavors in there. That is one good Mama Bear.
Welcome back to Grizzly Talks. I'm with my buddy Mike, and here today we're going to talk about camouflage.
That's right, Ian. So in front of us today, we have several different types of camouflage patterns. You can see up front, we've got a white urban digital camouflage. Not one that I use typically, but this is from my own personal collection. And then here with Ian's knife beautifully assigned on top is a very traditional one. You probably know this one. This is M81 Woodland. This is a very traditional type of camouflage. You probably know this from the 1980s and beyond. So you can never go wrong with a traditional woodland type of camouflage. This is my multicam, very traditional, very modern actually, as opposed to the more traditional M81. This is what you see nowadays with modern military. They're using a lot of this multicam in both woodland and desert environments. I've got a few more here in the back, but I'm going to go ahead and hand it over to Ian. He's going to talk about this one here that matches his top.
Alrighty, Mike. This is a dark earth, or you could go black, multicam. It's got so many, I mean, it's very comfortable, very breathable, you can move very well in it. It's got the little cute little knee pad. I don't have them in right now, but let me tell you, when you're in that environment where you need them, it comes in handy.
Absolutely, yeah. This has got a really good internal. I'm not sure what this is, a kit that Ian's got in this multicam black pattern, and this is a very modern pattern. You're going to see this a lot with, well, you won't see it because it's camouflage, right? But a lot of darker type environments, a lot of stealth, more urban things like that. You're going to see kind of this multicam black, and it's just a great mix between the darker elements that you'd see in the nighttime situations that you would use it in, right? And earth tones, which is the multicam kind of elements of it.
So yeah, the reason why I like the darker colors is because of the surprise element. You're not noticeable until it's too late. It's just a lot of the Michigan surroundings. It helps with coverage, just keeps you more concealed, especially at night. One thing that I really like about this material, it's ripstop.
Ripstop material, yeah.
You want to talk a little bit about that?
Absolutely. You can see a lot of these are made out of ripstop. And if you're not familiar with what ripstop is, you can see the patterning here, this grid type patterning. You can see it really well here on this multicam black. This ripstop is, as the name suggests, it allows you to stop rips as they happen. So you use this type of material in more of an outdoor or tactical situation where if you accidentally were to rip your clothing, you're not going to be embarrassed out there on the field, nor are you going to be walking around with half a shirt. So ripstop is very breathable, very lightweight. The military uses it. I can kind of talk about, since we're transitioning into the military aspect of this, these are some of the digital patterns that I was issued when I was in the military. Now the one here that we have, this is definitely ripstop. This is from the Army. This is a lightweight ACU digital pattern. Not very popular, really just matches grandma's couch and really nothing else, to be honest. I've got the Marine version of it here on my head. But when I was in the Air Force, we got the double ply Tiger Stripe digital, and this is not ripstop. So this is a different material entirely. It is still flame resistant, but it is not designed as ripstop. It is designed to more for infrared environments. This has anti-infrared coating in it.
Interesting. Okay.
And it is designed to hold its shape. So the Air Force at the time, when this pattern was coming out, I don't know if you know this or not, it was kind of a culture war, if you will, between the different branches. The Army came, well, technically, Canada came out with CAD-PAT, which is the Canadian pattern, the Canadian digital pattern, which was a great pattern. The Marines didn't steal it, if you will, right? It's very similar to what I have here on my head, just a slightly different shade of green. But then the Army came out with this, and then the Air Force came out with a more a classier version, if you will. The seams, the creases hold better. It's definitely designed for more office environments instead of tactical outdoor environments, as you can feel from the fabric, as you can see on the screen. So we've got various different types of multicam and digital cam and tiger cam, the original M81 Woodland, and then some that you really wouldn't even use at all, except for airsoft or paintball or anything like that that's outside of real world applications.
Looking cool, basically.
Very, very cool. Definitely looking cool. I have one here on my chest that we have not talked about. This is called Digital Flora. It's really kind of a digital darker green look. I like it because it matches the environment that we typically were to be in here up in the upper Midwest. So anything from MARPAT to Digital Flora to M81 and of course the new multicam, you can't go wrong with any pattern of camouflage. Isn't that right, Ian?
Pretty much.
All right.
I agree on that one.
Absolutely. So we're going to take this out to the range. You might see us out there. You might not. Depends on what the camouflage we're wearing. So stick around. We'll be right back.
Alrighty.
Hey, welcome back to Grizzly Talks. We are out at the shooting range and we are shooting something a little bit familiar, but something's different, Ian. What do we got going on here?
All right, so change the upper to a 223.
223.
Right.
Now, what is the difference between a 223 and the round that we shot previously through this, which was a 5.56?
Correct. Now, the 223 is just a tad bit smaller.
Tad bit smaller. Really?
Right, which means it flies a little bit faster. You got almost the same amount of powder between the 5.56 and the 223, but since you're dropping down grain-wise, the weight of the bullet, one's going to fly a little bit faster. I'm going to be running green tip.
Okay.
223 is just normal full metal jacket to your soft core or soft tip. There's a lot of varieties with the 223s that the 5.56 just, like, what's the point? With the 5.56, it's more of like military issue, and the 223 is more civilian, more hunting round.
Okay.
So,
hence the higher velocity.
yeah.
The ability to go faster, farther, faster.
Yeah.
So that's, go ahead.
I shoot a 223 Savage rifle.
Okay.
So that's a longer distance range. We'll probably bring that onto the show later on.
Sure thing.
But if you want to reach out and touch something, having that longer barrel also works because it builds up that pressure and it sends that bullet out a little bit farther. That's why 223 is more of on a rifle round instead of a CQB round. But since we changed out the upper, they're going to be rolling 223. I'm going to be rolling 5.56.
Okay. So what that means is we are going to be putting two different, very similar, but different rounds downrange. I am going to be shooting a 223 full metal jacket, as you can see here. And Ian has a magazine available with, there it is, with the, you can see the difference is very slight, but this is a 5.56 that he will be shooting, and I will be shooting a 223. All right, let's shoot some shit. All right, that's it for another episode of Grizzly Talks. Remember to subscribe, like, and we'll see you next time.
See ya.